Hello and welcome to Mid-Tone Reviews. Today I'm going to be reviewing the new Kevin Abstract album, Arizona Baby. So if you didn't know already, Kevin Abstract is one of the main rappers in Brockhampton, and he's very prolific in Brockhampton, but he's decided to do some individual stuff and some solo projects and that, and this is one of them, Arizona Baby. I also covered this teaser for this project in my Writing to News segment, and I was really interested in Trees because it seemed a lot more narrative. It seems quite personal to him, and yeah, the album's actually released. It's released firstly as one single, and then it was like an EP with 3 songs, but now I'm reviewing the whole entire thing, the full Arizona Baby project. One of the main things that you need to know is this album's a lot more mainstream. It's a lot more following the trends compared to Brockhampton, especially having triplets on Big Wheels, Joyride, and all of them sort of tracks. They also sort of add in some auto-tune and that into Kevin Abstract's like songs and that, and it sounds alright. It sounds pretty good, but it's just to make sure that you know that it is a lot more of a mainstream album compared to the usual Brockhampton stuff. So the album starts off straight away with Big Wheels and Joyride, which are very fast-paced songs with very sort of fast rapping, some fast beats, very jazzy sort of backing tracks and that, which sound really good, and it actually suits quite well with Kevin Abstract and sort of this whole entire sort of adventure in this album. It's really nice to hear. And yeah, I really enjoyed the first sort of part of the album. It's very fast and that, but it goes into the middle of the album with Baby Boy, Mississippi, Use Me and that, which are a lot more sort of calmer songs, a bit more R&B like, but they're still really good songs and that. And it goes a lot more into Kevin Abstract's being gay and sort of being a voice for that, which I think is really good and really important that he does that. But yeah, it's really sort of personal sort of love songs and stuff like that, which do sound pretty good, and they do sound quite consistent with the album. And yeah, it's quite good to have like a middle bit where it drops a little bit instead of doing it right at the end. So as you probably already know, the end of the album with Crumble and Boya pick up the pace a bit more around the start of the album. And yeah, it sounds really good and sounds pretty strong, and he sounds quite aggressive with this album. One of the issues with this album is some of the beats don't sound so good. Mostly done really well. There's some really fast-paced ones. There's some sort of quite chilled drum beats and that. But Corpus Christi does have a really weird and strange beat to it. There's like a guitar playing to like a completely different beat, and it just sounds a bit off. Luckily, lyrically, it's very good and a very powerful song. It's definitely very personal to him, but it's really a shame that there is that barrier in the way where there's all of these sort of different rhythms and that going on. It sounds a bit confusing. Many of the songs are also start off quite lyrically, where he raps really fast. He raps quite a lot of information. He sings some stuff and that, and he sings it sort of very quickly as well when he does sing. But around the end of the album and the end of the songs and that, it becomes a lot more instrumental. He throws in sort of different stuff like I said, jazz and rock and these sort of acoustic guitars and that, and it sounds really nice. I quite like it how it sort of, he sings about this sort of experience, and then it gives you time to think about it, which I really like, and I know that other songs and albums can actually benefit from that. It's not a bad thing that he done, and it doesn't go on for too long either. It's usually like the last 40 seconds of a song to a minute of a song. So it's really good that he's sort of taken the time and given the audience a time to actually listen to what he's actually saying and give them time to think about like the story and that, and sort of the storyline and the lyrics, and sort of his very personal sort of stories and feelings. So overall, this album is very good. It's a very strong album. It's definitely a lot more personal with Kevin Abstract sort of stuff compared to Brockhampton. And I'm not saying that it isn't powerful and strong, but I've really enjoyed this album. And yeah, overall I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. So yeah, I will see you in 2 days' time.